Hey everyone, welcome to Can't Afford to Record, the YouTube channel where we figure out the art of audio production together. And today I'm going to be looking at the Pultec style of EQs. Now, I'm new to the magic of the Pultec type of EQ, and I thought, well, what a better way to learn than just to make a track and throw it everywhere I can. Now, since there are so many different types of Pultec plugin that are available to us these days, I've actually decided to go with the one that comes with Logic Pro. Now, if you've clicked on this video, there's a good chance you're already familiar with a Pultec or at least have done some reading on it. I've been doing some reading and research myself, and from what I gather, they're not really the kind of EQ that you are doing massive subtractive moves on, removing big frequencies or anything like that. They're kind of the salt that you put on your food just to sort of lift the flavor a bit more and just add some more mojo to your mix. At least that's the kind of idea I'm getting from the research I've done. So let's have a listen to the little song that I created this week. Can you tell I've been listening to a lot of Blur lately? Here's the track without any Pultec style of EQing. I've got it pretty close, done some mixing on it. Here it is. Let's open up Logic and go through these tracks, and please know this is not a tutorial. I've messed around with settings and I found some stuff that sounds good to me. I am not teaching you how to use this plugin. In fact, if you see something that you think I could be doing better, or hey, maybe you should try this instead of whatever it is you did, let me know in the comments because I'd love to learn more. Okay, so I've got my Steven Slate drums. This is what they sound like with a little bit of parallel compression going on as well. It sounds like this. And what I've done right now is I have added a kick sample, and that's actually the first place I'm using a little bit of this Pultec style of EQ. This is what I've done at the moment. You will actually see I've boosted the 20 Hertz by quite a lot. I've also cut it there. If you want to learn about this Pultec boost and cut trick, there's a lot of videos about it. I certainly learned some bits from those videos as well, but you can boost and cut to get a tighter sound, and yeah, you'll go and find a load of stuff on that, and you'll learn the history of the Pultec magic trick. What else am I doing here? I'm boosting a little bit of 8K. Let's listen to what it sounds like when I turn this EQ on. So I've got this at the moment. It's not doing a huge amount right now, and that is probably because I'm boosting a very, very low area, and I'm not doing much of a boost here, but I guess it's adding something. I obviously did this for a reason, and I thought it sounded good. I have to say I'm not hearing it loads right now, but that's what it is, so we're going to leave it like that because, like I say, I picked it, I guess, for a reason. Moving on now, we have the bass guitar section here. And the bass, right now, I'll show you what's going on. I'm removing quite a lot of that low end actually, but just to make space for the kick drum. And let's have a look what's going on in the Pultec here. Okay, I'm boosting at 100 Hertz, and I'm attenuating again. I'm cutting kind of around there as well, just to give me that boost, but then to tighten it up. I've got my low frequencies, I've got my high frequencies, I've split them, I'm processing them, and then I'm putting the Pultec on the bass sub fader, which is, you know, in charge of both of those high and low frequencies. So I'm just throwing it on there. We've got our guitars. I have to say, I do this less and less these days, but I'm actually miking these up. First time in a very long time. So I've got a 57 and I've got my Aston Origin. If you want to learn more about the Aston Origin or my Aston Origin and my initial take on it, you can go and check out the video around about here. We'll go look at the Les Paul first. I've got my Aston hard left and then I've got a 57. Not so hard left. I'm doing a little bit of subtractive EQ with Logic's stock EQ here. So I guess I'm removing about 200 hertz. And then on the Les Paul subgroup fader, I guess I'm doing even a little bit more. Well, I'm doing my high pass and low passing, so that's fine. Then I'm doing a bit of R comp. Sounded good to me, kind of thickened it up a little bit, so I like that. And then I've got the Pultec. So this is what it sounds like without, and then I'll play it in the mix. Here you go. So you can see what I'm doing here is I'm basically just tidying it up, tightening this sound a little bit more. I'm cutting some 100 hertz. I am boosting around 8K. Yeah, I think it just tames it a little bit more. It was sort of starting to bloom at that bottom end a little bit too much, or get a little bit muddy. So that's kind of why I went with this, and I like it. Now I'm doing, I think, very similar things to the Strat. Again, the Strat is with an Aston Origin and a 57. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I don't remember adding this, I have to say. Did that just come on automatically? That might have just come on automatically. Okay, well, I guess it's there. Let's toggle it on and off and see what happens. So this is it without the, this is just in solo. Sounds like this. So you know what? I don't think this guy here is doing all that much, but we're going to leave it on because it was on. I'll get too self-conscious if I turn it off and be like, wait, was I meant to have it on? I don't know. Let's check out the stops. Now the stops, I'm just attenuating a little bit. That's all. So you'll hear with just these on their own. Am I in solo? Yeah. You know, with nothing. It's barely enough, but it just softens it up a little bit, and I liked it, obviously, for some reason. It worked for me. Okay, so now we're on to the master bus, and you'll see I've got everything basically routes to the mix bus, which is sort of my, I guess, my master volume fader, and then I route that to what I call the mix plus, which I guess sort of stands for mix bus plus processing. Now, what have I got going on here? I've got a tape emulation. So I've got the Black Rooster Magnetite. This is what it sounds like with and without. So I think it does just soften those edges a little bit more. It's so tempting because high end, I love high end, and it's like, no, I want everything super crisp, but then I always somehow regret that. So I'm trying to, these are my preventative measures, and I do like what I'm doing here, and it is nice to add a little bit of imperfection here with the wow and flutter. So there you go, it's my tape emulation. Okay, here is my tube EQ, the thing that, you know, we're doing this video about. And now you might think, well, why have you picked these settings? This one is called Enhanced Mix, and it's on the Mix Bus preset from Logic. That looks like this. And for some reason, I changed it around a little bit and I saved the setting because I liked the setting that I saved. So that's what I've done here. Anyway, this is what it sounds like without, and then I will put it on. So here you go. My take on the Pultec style of EQ, obviously I've only used Logic Pro's one. I'm sure there's people that have cloned, old faithful versions of hardware. Everyone will have their favorite. But from what I've learned is they are a very musical EQ. You can do quite drastic boosting and cutting and it still sounds pretty good. Lots of people might say it's hard to make these Pultec style EQs sound bad. On this track in particular, the little moves that I was doing, again, are just trying to heighten the tone and the sound throughout the track. So I guess I'm getting it super close with my stock EQs or whatever I want to use for, really, really carving the sound. Then I use the Pultec to heighten and make it even more exciting, add that kind of magic, whatever you want to call it, to those tracks. And then at the end, you'll see that I did quite a drastic EQ move on that master bus. It started off as a preset. I changed it a little bit for my settings. That's where I think the biggest changes happen, is on that master bus. But I like messing with this kind of EQ, and I'm looking forward to using it even more on future tracks, because things are starting to make sense there for me now. So yeah, I really like it. So are you a fan of the Pultec EQs? What's your favorite clone? There's lots of different Pultec plugins out there. So which one is your favorite? Which one do you use? Do you use the Logic Pro one like I have? Or do you have one that is your absolute go-to? Or do you have a bunch that you like? Because like I say, there really are so many of them. Let me know. Also, let me know your favorite places to use the Pultec EQ. Is it on the bass? Is it on everything? Is it on just the kick drum? Is it just on the master bus? I want to know, so leave me a comment below. I think that about does it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then don't forget, you can consider leaving me a thumbs up. And if you like it more than that, then you might want to consider joining me right here on Can't Afford to Record. But until next time, I'll see you soon.